Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon Jung-min. We begin with the attention-grabbing meeting between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Following their meeting yesterday, Moscow says it seeks military cooperation with the regime despite its compliance with international sanctions. Our defense correspondent Choi Min-jung is here with us in the studio to give us a wrap-up and tell us what might be next. So, Min-jung, what more can you tell us about this high-stakes meeting?
Right. Kim and Putin held a rare meeting at a spaceport in Russia's Far East, where, in Putin's words, they had lots to discuss. The North Korean leaders stressed full and unconditional support for all the decisions taken by Russia, while Russia also signaled its willingness to assist Pyongyang in launching its own satellites and rockets. And following the summit, Kim invited Putin to his country, and North Korea's state-run media reported Thursday that the Russian leader accepted the invitation with pleasure and reaffirmed his will to carry forward the history and tradition of their friendship. And with regards to the military cooperation between the two countries, Putin reportedly said that military technology cooperation with North Korea would still be possible within international regulatory frameworks. This implies that Russia, who is a permanent UNSC member, is seeking ways to cooperate with North Korea while not violating UNSC sanctions. Also, ongoing from the summit, Russia's foreign minister is set to visit Pyongyang in October to hold further discussions with his North Korean counterpart. The two are seeking to revive their economic cooperation, which was halted due to the pandemic. And we must also note that Kim's trip to Russia is his first international trip since the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced North Korea to close its borders for more than 3 years.
Right, Min-jung, and we are learning that Kim has left for his next destination. Where is he heading?
Right. Now, local sources are saying he's heading towards the region called Khabarovsk, which is around 1,000 kilometers away from where the summit was held. Putin had earlier announced that Kim would visit Russia's jet production plant there, and using his private train, he's expected to arrive late this evening. The tour of the production plant that manufactures Russia's advanced multi-purpose fighters and civil aircraft is expected to take place tomorrow morning. And after the tour, Kim is expected to go further south to Vladivostok, where he is anticipated to tour the Pacific Fleet and Far Eastern Federal University before departing to North Korea late at night.
Could we say the Kim-Putin summit is a direct response to recent gatherings involving the leaders of South Korea, the U.S., and Japan? And what does their meeting signify for geopolitics?
Right, there is definitely that growing tension, as you said, especially with growing security cooperation among South Korea, the U.S., and Japan. The three countries have obviously been keeping a close eye on the situation, and this is what Seoul's unification minister said today.
We are deeply concerned about military cooperation and arms transactions between Russia and North Korea. We once again called on them to stop illegal and reckless acts that only deepen their own isolation and abide by international norms, including the UN Security Council resolutions.
The Biden administration has remained consistent with its message, which is basically that any new arms deal between Moscow and Pyongyang will lead to, quote, repercussions. It also urged North Korea to not support Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Let's take a listen.
As I've said before, we continue to urge North Korea to meet its public commitments not to support Russia's war in Ukraine. No nation on the planet, nobody, should be helping Mr. Putin kill innocent Ukrainians.
The U.S. also said it's troubling to see Russians talk about cooperating with North Korea on programs that would violate UNSC resolutions. Although Putin stressed that Moscow and Pyongyang would cooperate within the UN framework, Washington is insisting that any help Moscow gives to Pyongyang's satellite program would violate UNSC resolutions. And UN Chief Antonio Guterres also stressed that any form of cooperation of any country with North Korea must respect the sanctions imposed on the regime.
Right. Thanks for the wrap-up, Min-jung.
Thank you.